So it's the 5th of November and I got to my current lake quite late last night on the Friday night. I didn't set up straight away. I had a quick walk around first in the dark, but I already had my eyes on getting him back in the swim that I was in last Saturday, and then annoyingly I had to reel in literally while the fish were rolling on top of me because I'm a grassroots football coach and our team had a game and I had to get there. But I did come in that swim and the fish were still in here, and I've gone and caught one this morning. I'm really chuffed. It's only my second night on here. I did last Saturday night and then came on here last night. Got myself a £28 common. It literally just waddled in like a tench. I didn't even know what it was, to be fair. Quite lethargic. Quite a lethargic common. Water temperatures dropped quite a bit in the last week. It got down to about 3 or 4 degrees last night, maybe a touch colder. Didn't feel that cold. This morning though, it's gone really mild, really overcast, light drizzle, pretty much the same conditions as when I reeled in on air last Sunday morning. So yeah, dead chuffed to get one so quick in the session, because I'm here till what time will it be, about 8:30 Sunday morning. So I've got another 26 hours, and the conditions in the next 26 hours are better than the conditions for the first 12 hours I've been here. So yeah, really chuffed. So it's so quiet. Don't think there's many anglers here. The usual spots on here are taken in the slightly deeper water, but I won't reveal too much about the area I'm in at the moment, because I've got a couple of sessions planned for November. So if this mild weather continues, I want to see if I can put a little string together and then go from there. But yeah, this area of the lake is being fished, but let's just say it's a lot shallower than the rest of the lake. But because it's so mild for this time of the year, the fish are still in here. And what's interesting as well, what caught my attention when I was walking around very early last Saturday morning is, alright, it's shallower, but the volume of swans in here, and the fact that they weren't really interested in my bait. They were more interested in just picking off all of the naturals that's in here, because they can get their heads down and trough it. They were literally working the whole bay, so there's clearly a load of food in here. So anyway, right, let's see if I can get some footage of this common. Right, £28 common. There it is. Absolutely so lethargic. Look at the other side. So docile. Starting to lock up for winter, I expect. Look at that. Gotta be happy with that. Nice. Right, it's Saturday afternoon now. Conditions are absolutely perfect. I'm getting loads of liners on both my right hand rod and my middle rod. The swans have been here all day. They're gone now. They've gone up to my right, but they've been down here. But like I said earlier on this morning, they're not concentrating on any particular area. Where I had that common in that sling, just down in the edge, and it's really silty down here, and I had it in there for 20-25 minutes in the sling, just while I set up my camera equipment. When I brought the sling out and put it on the mat, there must have been 10-15 water snails stuck to the bottom of the sling just in that short space of time. So there is an abundance of food in here. There's definitely fish in here. I had a fish roll on the far margin, which is actually an island over there. What time was that? About 10 o'clock this morning. There's definitely fish moving around in here, so looking really good. I've just recharged the rods. I caught the fish on a hinge stiff. I'll show you the rig in a bit. on a very long boom. Well, I fish quite short booms, normally 7-8 inches, but I caught that on an 11-inch boom. Helicopter setup, loads of movement. Yeah, mega confident. I was on stiff D's with the other two, so I flicked all 3 across now. There you go, that's another liner. I flicked all 3 now onto the 11-inch hinge stiff, so we shall see. I'm just wondering whether they're troughing through so much natural, they're going on site, which is why I think I picked up that common. So we'll see. Right, it's Friday. It's 3:30, and it's time to go and catch a carp. Fingers crossed. So it's been 2 weeks since I was last fishing at Flint when I had that common. Not been able to get over and do any walks around, so I'm going a bit blind again, which is fine. I'm kind of used to that way of fishing now, to be honest. Kids keep me busy, football keeps me busy, work keeps me busy, so it is what it is. Weather's got colder, loads of rain, fairly consistent wind direction, although it's got a bit colder in the air. I think we've got some northwesterlies tonight. It's going to be 1 degree tonight, and then it's going to be quite bright and sunny tomorrow, but still tops 8 or 9 degrees. So let's get there, get parked up. I'm going to start in the main car park. So there's 3 places where I can play out the van. So I always go in the first one, the main car park, and then work my way from there. And then, yeah, going to do quite a quick circuit, work out where other anglers are fishing, and then, yeah, go from there. Nice and simple. Chopped boilie, a few whole boilies, nuggets and casters. Absolutely lovely. Well, that was a mega quick setup. So I'm in the slab swim. Never been in here before, but I know a bit about it. I've read about it. So kept it really simple, to be fair. 3 spoms, 4 spoms maybe over each rod. Fishing all the same range. 2 towards that dot island and 1 towards that island over there. I'll show you a bit more in the morning when it's daylight, but mega quick, mega clean. Being prepared to get here. Before I got here, sorry, even my bait's tied, because I was pretty sure I was going to go with the hinge stiff again on the long booms. So yeah, sweet as a nut. Well happy. Right, time to put some hot dogs on. Right, it's Saturday morning, no fish, but they were down here. I heard one bosh every couple of hours through the night. I didn't sleep brilliantly. I never do on the first night fishing anyway, but I heard some good fish lumping out down here. There is quite a huge amount of water off to my right. that sort of swings around the back here into quite a large bay that actually drifts all the way behind this tree canopy. But I also heard fish directly in front of me, which is where I'm fishing. Don't know if you can see now that little dot island out there. So basically, when I was here 2 weeks ago, I was the other side of that dot island on the right hand side as we're looking across to that tree line, and I've now got 2 rods out towards that dot island. It's deeper there. It's deeper this side than it is the other side. So the other side is between 2 and 4 feet, and this side I'm fishing in 8 feet. So, and I've got one over near this island. So this lake has a huge kind of how would you describe it? It's like a big arc-shaped island. It just sits in the middle of the lake, kind of splits the lake into 2 parts. But yeah, it's proper carpy down this end. I feel really confident down here, especially after hearing those fish last night. But I've got to be honest, it feels like winter now. It's the first time this year. It feels pretty cold. Everything's dying away. Look, all the reed beds are back, all the weed down here. It's all decaying. But yeah, it's all to play for. I'm currently having some breakfast. Roll on the sausages. Right. I've had a walk round. Seen nothing. Ain't heard anything since 9 o'clock this morning, but I'm staying put. The fish were here last night. So what's the point in moving? It's looking pretty cool, to be fair. So let me tell you what I'm doing. Right, 7 AM Sunday morning, pack up. It's been raining all night. It's not raining now, which is quite helpful. It is cold, and I've had nothing. It's gone quite still in here. Water temperature is really cold, but complete contrast to last night compared to the night before. Didn't hear a single thing last night, and I had 5 or 6 fish roll this end of the lake the night before. I had a good walk around yesterday. Couldn't see anything. There is a spread of anglers on here, 5 or 6, all dotted around. So the whole lake's sort of kind of covered really, but not a bloody thing. Never mind. So early pack down as usual on a Sunday because I'm a grassroots football coach. So just got to get the rods in. The house is half down. Barrow at the back there, look. Next time, back in a couple of weeks I think. I might try and get a night in between, but I have to see what's happening. I'm off to Amsterdam with work in a couple of weeks as well, so I've got quite a lot of prep to do for that. Right, till next time. Right, it's 2 weeks on since my last session. It's Friday the 2nd of December, but for a change I'm going on a Friday morning, which I'm quite chuffed about because it will give me a chance to have a little look, well, proper look round today before I do 2 nights. It's quite cold, 3.5 degrees. It's going to be a high of 7, low tonight of 2, and I think the weather tomorrow, Saturday, is the same. Northeasterly breeze, not too strong, but it's going to be northeasterly all weekend. I've not done any brekkies or anything, so I'm going blind again. But I'm going based on knowledge that I've picked up now on this water for the last 2 or 3 trips. So I'm starting to feel like I'm tuning in a little bit. I've seen the habits of the fish going into the winter. I've just got to make sure today I make a conservative effort to really find out or give me the best chance possible to get as close to or on the fish. Based on the wind direction, I've got a couple of preconceived ideas in terms of the lay of the islands and where the flat spots might be off the back of the breeze. It's going to be a completely different wind direction than's been blowing the last few sessions I've been there. So yeah, going to go with an open mind. Going to start in the usual main car park and then just see how the day unfolds. I'm at the lake. Come in the main car park. There's only one car in there, which is the right result. It's obviously winter now and conditions aren't brilliant, but so I can't remember if I've told you much about this lake, but it's 42 acres. It's got about 90 carp in it. It's a cracking lake. So I'm just coming down to where I was fishing last time I was here. Just have a quick look down this bank. Let's turn the camera around. So this is the slab swim that I was in. Cracking bit of water. I spy with my little eye, can I find anything? Right, let's keep looking. Saturday morning. Didn't do any filming yesterday. I spent all day walking around. I thought that'd be a bit boring. Came in this swim. So I'm right round in the back of this bay, off the wind. Northeasterly, quite chilly. Peg called Secret, or Secret something or other. Managed to get 2 rods out. 3 o'clock yesterday, gave me an hour before dark. I basically came in here, I didn't see anything on the whole 42 acres yesterday, and I spent 6 hours walking around. Had the binoculars, which I can see very small bubbles coming up at 300-400 yards. They're incredible bit of kit. Nikon, only 100 quid. But I came in here, one of the local anglers, Andy, tipped me off that he's done okay in here in the winter in the past, so can't ignore local knowledge. But yeah, don't know what the size of this back area is. 4 or 5 acres, I would imagine, of the 42 acres. So quite a reasonable amount of water. Loads of lily pads in here in the summer. But basically, I got a rod tucked in on that bush there, 9.5 wraps, and then I got one out here in open water where those coots are fighting. There's like a gully there, it's about 1.5 to 2 foot deeper than what's around the edges. So in all the shallower water is where all the lily pads grow up. So 90% of this area of the lake is full of lily pads in the summer. It's quite mad actually when you look on Google Earth. So only put 2 rods in here because it's really shallow. It was getting dark. I had 2 areas I wanted to hit, didn't really have a third in mind. But I've messed around on Google Earth this morning, so let's turn that round. So I've messed around on Google Earth this morning, so I've got all my marks marked on Google Earth now properly, so I can see exactly what's what, and I've picked a 3rd area that I'm going to have a little chuck about on. But what I'm going to do, I've tidied up the house, put all the kit all ready to go inside, which is what I normally do, because what I'm going to do now is wait probably till about 10:30, reel in, have a little flick about on that 3rd area, just make sure that's the depth I think it is, and it's relatively clear, although I want to be in the chod, I want to be in the silt. And then I pack all my gear down, because then I'll walk around with a bucket. If I see something, I'll drop the bucket in there and I can get back, and then half my house is nice and tidy and it'll be much quicker to move. So yeah, not a lot to report yesterday. So we'll see what today brings. It's going to still be highs of 6 today, low of 3. I'll be honest though, I didn't really feel that cold last night. It was 3 degrees, but I didn't really feel that cold. So it's a bit more overcast today than yesterday as well. So slight change in conditions. Wind still northeasterly. There's only 2 other anglers on. There was no anglers on here when I got here yesterday morning. There was 2 others that came on during the day yesterday. So yeah, fingers crossed. Got to plug my mug. Go on the boys. Go on you Royals. I tell you what, just a quick plug. Don't know if you've seen these rucksacks. They're wicked. I loved my previous rucksack, but this Spiro bit of kit and these modular bags for storing your food in. Let me just show you this quickly. These are quite cool actually. Got nice free flowing zips on them. Got all your food in there, and you've got another one there which has got like the padded material for your fridge stuff and that. Really good bit of kit. Right, back on the same mix as last time. Maggots, boilie, liver, whole boilies. So what I do, I only mix in a bucket exactly what I'm going to put out on a spot. Then I don't sort of overdo it, underdo it. I just get in a bucket exactly what I know I want to put out on a spot, and then there's no getting confused. Right, Saturday night, rods are set. Got 3 out tonight. So I see a carp. Well, it looked like a carp. Didn't really make a big thrash when it came out, but it broke the water, and weirdly I was looking at that part of the lake when it went on the left hand side of that island, which you can't see now. It's in the distance. So I've got a single over there, and the tufties have been over there hammering all the natural food on top of all the dead Canadians. So I've just stuck a single over there, tried and trusted hinge stiff on a 10-inch boom. So fingers crossed. It's quite cold now, but like I said, a good 90% of this water in here is off the back of the wind. You can just see the wind, look, that northeasterly hitting the far side, and then it's hammering down the other end of the lake, and it's bloody freezing down the other end of the lake. So fingers crossed, I've got something to report in the morning. I've got an early-ish pack down again, because again my grassroots team are playing up in Abingdon tomorrow, so I've got to be up there for 9:15 for a 10 o'clock kick-off. But it's all part of the commitment to the kids, and my son's the goalkeeper, so it's my other big passion, to be fair, football. Right, see what happens tonight. On my way home, unfortunately blanked. Did get a couple of liners, but could have been anything, to be fair. As long as I go home from every session feeling I tried my hardest, felt like I was in a zone, presentation wise it was good, just didn't leave anything behind really, just give it a good go, and I feel like I did that. So I fished 4 sessions on there now, 4 different swims, so I've instantly got 4 ideas for winter drop-in areas. I I can literally go in those areas now and get baits in quite quietly, quite stealthy. Like with all these sessions, you've got to get there. You've got to have a little bit of a lead about. You'll have a bit of an idea, either through information, through Google Earth, or where you've seen certain shows. But you've still got to get a lead out there, right? So, but all good. Fishing gear now. Football gear on in half hour. Off up to Abingdon. So back home in the warm. I just thought I'd quickly walk you through the rig that I've been using that nailed that common. So this is my go-to version of this rig when I want to present a very visual or prominent hook bait. Often I'll use a small pop-up to a size 4 hook. I've got so much confidence in the Gardner Beach Otter rigger hook that is BCR for short, really sharp, beak point, nice wide gape. A couple of really important features though I really like. It's got the PTFE coating which minimises the glare, so I'm happy to use an oversized hook to the size of hook bait I'm using, but it's also got a much larger diameter eye, so you can easily pass 2 or even 3 times whatever your chosen diameter is of monofilament through that eye. Some hooks in this sort of similar pattern can have a really small eye. It can become really fiddly to try and even feed two passes through that eye. So in this instance, my chosen end section is tripwire in 20 pounds. It's nice and stiff, but subtle enough to maintain that curve. I fixed that with a simple 2-turn blood knot to a chod swivel. My main hook length material, depending on the substrate I'm laying across, I tend to go with a 10-inch boom made up of 22-pound subterfuge if I'm looking for something stiff but a little bit more subtle, or 25-pound stiff link if I'm looking for something a lot stiffer. I put a small blob of tungsten putty halfway along the main hook link, and then I attach that to another chod swivel. The reason for using chod swivels at both ends is it just gives loads and loads of free movement at both ends of the boom, which I think is invaluable. It also provides an anchor point, quite a bit of weight on a chod swivel, so I don't tend to try and use too much putty if I can get away with it. And then if I want to try an alternative to the translucent fluorocarbon booms, to match something more suitable to the substrate, then I'll pivot to using ultra skin stiff, either in the seal or the green or the brown. It's really that simple. Keep it nice and simple, but effective.